evening. Welcome to That Anime Show. I'm Terri Doty.
I like it. They totally won't know that wasn't a full orchestra. Yeah. That's awesome.
What's up, everybody? It's That Anime Show. If you hadn't guessed by, you downloading the episode somehow.
If you're listening to this by accident, we're sorry. Not really.
It's one of the last remaining broadcasts before everything goes and the zombies
So
come.
when the world goes up,
they'll
be
have
like,
this to listen back.
anime, that's nice.
We are a fair representation of humanity as a whole.
There'll be some dude like Hammerlock telling about the story of humanity. Yes, there was this thing called anime that was the great.
He's still narrating. Then nobody even cared. Like, we're not even
Your
recording.
voice will survive you long after.
I'm pretty sure my voice will survive me long after
Someone just puts that on your tombstone.
Long after time has folded us all into our common dust, my voice shall still be out there making references to weird things like that was. Did I get just a free man? What happened? Did I just get a one up? What happened?
You just wound up.
I just one up. One up. What do you do with that? Like, how do you say that if you want it to be like a past tense verb? Like one up.
Or do
you say I one up? Or one up?
One up.
One upped. I'd say one up.
Well, because I one upped you.
You got a one up.
Okay, one up.
You got an
That's
extra
J.
man.
Michael Tatum, and that's Ian Sinclair.
Oh, hi, everyone.
Some
Ian, say
days.
hi.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back. I bugged y'all about it for a while.
No, actually,
we had
Steven
you on
was
the show
like,
before?
yeah, no.
Fuck,
They can't see you looking around
It
sheepishly
was
when you're sarcastic.
November.
But I can depend on you, too.
It's November 2010, and it actually
2010?
It was 2010.
Oh my god!
Oh, see, I'm not the same person anymore. That's why I don't remember.
You're half of what you were. You're huge,
But,
and you've lost so much weight.
Well, Steven and I were actually talking, and he was like, Ian really wants to be back on the
good.
show. And yeah, sometimes we talk. Well, because he
I
was
don't
recording
believe
you that
you.
day on something.
yeah.
Something. And then I saw you, and you're like, I want to be back. I was about to ask you, but sure.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's a bunch of shit. She called me and was like, how do you feel about Ian being back on the show? Because I don't really want it, but it's your show too. I'm just let you decide. And I'm like, fuck yeah, we have to have him back on the show.
The most
So I
unbelievable part
vetoed.
of that is me saying it's your show too. 'Cause
I
I'm
know.
selfish.
Clearly. I need to do more research next time I decide to lie.
Lies.
No, I heart you and stuff.
Heart me?
Heart.
Heart me?
Yeah.
It's on t-shirts. It's the
Another
whole thing.
word that's a noun that we're now using as a verb. I love that.
Yeah.
I
Hearting
love
someone.
Hearting
someone.
Hearting someone.
Well, I got
like
onto
it.
someone. It was, I forget where I was, but someone went BT dub, and I went, stop. If you're going to abbreviate it, can we at least actually say the W? Like, really? BT dub,
What is that?
by the way.
By the way,
Oh.
I've actually heard somebody say, "Yo, BT dubstep, bro. Just so you know." I'm like,
You better slow your roll.
okay.
Slow
All
your
right,
roll. I
all
love to
right.
say it like incredibly crackerific. Slow your roll.
Slow
Slow your roll there.
Slow your roll, sir.
Bro.
All right. I don't want you to
Because
lulls
I
or
know
anything.
I may not look it, but I am what is referred to commonly in the vernacular as a baller.
Sup?
You are.
Sup.
Shot collar.
Sup.
Oh, there's that Philly.
What's
I
the
can hear
word?
it in your voice.
Yeah, I just went to Maine, so my northerner's gotten a little bit of a tune-up.
northern there.
Even, the whole month I was
You
in
just
Maine.
you just came back from Maine, biatch.
Where are my bitches?
Hey, Michael Tatum.
So what up, Beauty McGee?
Just chilling. Been house sitting for Tyler Walker. It's a good guy.
Just touching his stuff.
Oh, everything. I made sure to rub some part of my body on every
So
single
house
surface
sitting
in
is
his
a
house.
euphemism for something quite different.
Sometimes I sit, sometimes I rub.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There's a rhythm to it. That's what you're saying.
And the rhythm is going to get you.
Do you know rhythm is a dancer? It is.
Oh my god, we're already so wrong, and we're like 2 minutes into this.
Dude, we're doing it right. We got to make up for lost time.
I know. How fucking long has it been?
Well, we did Ryan's show at the beginning of August, so it's been more than a month.
Oh, wow.
Jesus Christ, time has been
Yeah,
so
we had-
weird for me.
We had
lately.
Ryan Reynolds.
It's a wibbly wobbly thing.
Ryan
Wibbly-wobbly.
Reynolds 2, according to
Timey-wimey.
IMDb. The second Ryan Reynolds.
I'm Ian Sinclair like 4 or 5. So,
When you put in my name, it goes, did you mean this?
did you mean this?
There's a Terri Doty that apparently worked on a Meatloaf video, I think.
All right. Mm-hmm. What in what capacity?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Was she the one that wanted him to do that?
that he wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Anything else from
Anything
love?
else? He was totally cool.
Hey, dude, according to Dr. Pepper, it was, Buying
Diet?
tampons.
Is that what he wanted?
I'll do anything.
Buy tampons. I like that.
Anything for love, but I won't do diet.
No,
meatloaf.
apparently buy tampons. Go to Terry. I know that guys have problems with that, but I've never had a problem like buying tampons for a girlfriend. Like, because then you're at the store.
Oddly enough, I've never had a problem either.
either.
I don't run into it, but I mean, I've bought. Believe me, I've had to buy some embarrassing things.
I don't find it embarrassing though. All it does is make you be like, "Hey, I'm obviously with someone." Like it. Whereas the guy next to you is buying Red Bull and like Maxim.
Yes. You can be like, oh my God, you're so sweet. You got blah, blah, blah. Your girlfriend's probably like, just on the couch watching Gilmore Girls, whatever. But I buy condoms. It's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Clearly, I've got plans, motherfucker. Bring it up. Bring it up.
I like to have a condom just handy.
Badass.
I like to have a condom just handy in my wallet, so when I'm paying anyone anything, they think that I'm a badass. So, oh, you're getting something tonight because you've got a condom. That condom's been there for 10 years.
Like when the wallet has formed
public
around
service
the condom.
announcements from that anime show? If you've had a condom in your pocket for 10 years, if you've had a condom in your pocket for a year, don't use that condom.
Oh, you probably won't be able to if you like open it up. Just dust,
like
latex dust just comes floating out like the Ark of the Covenant.
Condom in the wind.
But
Like
do you ever buy embarrassing stuff? Like you have to buy it and you buy a lot of other stuff just so it's not the only thing on the conveyor belt when you go through.
No, sometimes I will pick out other things to make, like buying condoms. I'll get like a liter of Mountain Dew and like Funyuns next to
Dude, a liter of Mountain Dew for you, that's nothing.
And back in the day, it was nothing. Now I can't even drink a Mountain Dew anymore.
There you go.
When I got on the coffee, which is the reason I'm so hyper right now.
Café.
I love it. You bring your hyperness to me, and it was. I wasn't feeling it today. I was so tired today for some reason. It's been a weird week.
I'm glad I could.
It's been a funky week.
And you come in, and I'm just kind of like,
well, no, like
I'm hyper by osmosis.
To try to detract from, I guess, the weird item that you are buying. Because you've never bought like sex toys or anything like that. I would assume like you'd have to go to like a sex shop. Like it's not going to be like weird or anything.
Yeah,
but
if the person behind the counter is going to give you the eye at a sex shop,
That's
you're like, hey, fuck you, asshole. You work here.
It.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the weird thing about that. One time, when I had a job, like a different job every week, I actually applied at one. And after I handed the guy my application, he took a Polaroid of me and then asked me to leave.
Okay.
And late at night when he's alone after the shop is closed.
And he went, we do this for everybody.
Blows on it.
See, he was trying to see if you would look at him judgmentally when he took the picture, because you can't have that. Well, they all do look at you judgmentally, like, really?
Dude, he shook it like a Polaroid picture.
It's a good thing.
What do you like? What do you hide?
Waiting for the shift.
But what do you hide the offending item around when you're buying, say, like adult diapers? Because the only thing that's like tractor tires, and they never sell that shit at the same store.
No. Well,
the layering is funny because you all remember that thing when you're a teenager, and it's like I've got my motorcycle or whatever. I don't know. You were a big motorcycle fan, right? I'm sure.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
No. With my
it was
feet.
like, I don't know, like Guitar Magazine, like Maxim, and then like
for me it was gay magazines, like The Advocate or something, and then it was
porn.
like, but I also need to get. Okay, so I'm buying this Playgirl. But I'm also gonna buy USA, or I'm also gonna buy like The Economist, just to fucking throw them for a loop.
No, get them,
and then just look them dead in the eye.
Get a Playboy and a Playgirl. That way, you're just like,
shopping around.
Like, one for me, one for somebody else. You don't know which. One of us tells the truth. The other one always lies.
Or there was a girlfriend that she wanted to go get condoms, but then she wanted to detract it, so she got like a snack too. I'm like, that doesn't help you.
No.
Buying maraschino cherries and a diet Dr. Pepper along with ribbed for her pleasure.
See, the weird thing about that is the Diet Dr. Pepper. Like cherries and condoms, you're going to be like, oh, that person's in for a good night. But
see, that sounds like a horrible night. Like, oh,
cherries
God.
and
you don't like
condoms.
cherries?
Not maraschino cherries.
We've talked
real
about
cherries.
Ian, we've talked about cherries, and you've learned the hard way.
Yeah, there's a story that Tatum knows about me.
You have
you gotta
to
know when to hold them, know when to
cherries.
fold them.
know when to walk away.
Know when to walk away.
Know when to walk away. Know when you've got the runs.
Oh my God! This is the second public service announcement. Do not eat multiple pounds of cherries at a time.
Don't eat a pound of cherries.
I was actually living in South Texas, and I got locked down. There was a hurricane in South Texas, and I before the hurricane hit, I was actually supposed to go to the store, but I couldn't. The one road into Three Rivers was closed, so I was locked. And I had to survive off of a jar of pickles and Doritos.
That's fine.
And
Pickles,
there was another sort of hurricane later.
You could do, I mean, it'll clean your system out, right? You could have had...
I mean, I never felt better. It was like a reverse.
Such was like reverse douche. Reverse. Reverse. Need to be a douche then. Reverse douche.
It's like my colon just sneezed constantly. Yeah.
All right. Quick question. Pickles. What kind of pickles do you like? Dill.
I like
bread and butter.
Dill.
Sweet.
I don't like
dill.
I don't like bread and butter or
movie
sweet.
theater is always dill pickle and Twizzlers.
Dill or kosher dill?
Kosher dill.
It's got to be no kosher.
Not a fan of garlic?
No,
because I think that's
I
the big
love the
difference.
kosher.
I don't like kosher.
I
Kosher
like the kosher.
pickles.
I like
a
kosher
big old
pickles.
kosher dill.
I like normal dills too, but if I had a choice between kosher and normal dills,
yeah.
I'd take kosher.
Yeah.
Love pickles. True
What
story.
about you dirty bitch?
True
I'd say
story.
kosher dill.
Yeah.
True story. When I was a kid, I loved pickle. I still love pickles so much that I have to be kept from just drinking the pickle juice out of the jar.
Have you ever made like a pickle martini?
Oh yes, as a matter of fact, I have. Yeah, come on. Who do I live with? Yes, of course we've made martinis out of everything that's drinkable and some that's not. But no, I loved it. But my mom used to call me Mickle the Pickle because I liked pickles so much.
Mickle the
that's going to be a
pickle.
thing now.
Adorable, right? Mickle the Pickle. I used to be called that all the time because I fucking loved pickles.
art.
Michael Potato the
happening.
pickle. I can't do it.
Mickle the pickle
John
and potato.
Jacob Jingleheimer's
Mickle
back.
the pickle potato.
It needs another 2-syllable word in there for the rhythm.
The third.
Shut up.
Yeah, Mickle the pickle potato the third.
Oh, okay. I spoke too soon.
You shut up.
Mickle the pickle potato the third. Okay,
Someone just got a vocal warm up.
Someone. Oh yeah.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Mickle the pickle the.
But
Mickle the pickle potato the third. Chris
New
Ayers
York.
just gave me jiggle it a little open. Yeah.
Say it again.
Jiggle it a little, it'll open. I
Jiggle
changed
it a
it
little
to
open.
Jiggle it a little, it'll
You can
wiggle.
just cheat your way through that middle
Yeah,
part.
that's
by
just
just going,
jiggle open.
Someone sent us what was say Irish wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch.
Irish
That's a pretty
wristwatch.
hard one.
That's fucking hard. Irish wrist.
Before
I
every
don't
session,
remember who
I
sent
do,
that in. I'm sorry.
Irish
Toy
wrist.
boat.
Toy boat. Unique New
Toy
York.
boat?
Red leather, yellow leather.
Toy boat
Aluminum
doesn't-
linoleum.
Toy boat doesn't seem hard to
boat.
me.
Say it.
What
say
does
it. Say
toy
it
boat
5
do?
times fast.
Huh?
5 times fast.
Toy boat. Okay, it's hard.
There
Fuck
you go.
all. It didn't seem hard. Okay, what else? Unique New York.
Aluminum
Unique New York.
linoleum.
Aluminum linoleum. Do you know aluminum should actually be called
Aluminium.
aluminium?
Yeah.
And the only reason it's not is because it was misspelled when it came over here.
Ross told me that.
Yeah.
My new
it's
friend
actually
from
the
England.
real term is aluminium.
Aluminium.
It's
Should we be
aluminium.
taking our vitamins at the same time?
and then pronouncing the H and
Because there's a fucking H in it. Wait, do we curse on this show?
Yes,
yeah,
oh,
we
yes.
do.
Fuck yes, we can curse on this show. Of course we can.
Tatum and I are on it, so
Yeah, we
I
It's
was,
a good
all the
fucking
time.
that's a
Motherfucking.
fucking good point.
Can I say this? This is really interesting because I encountered this for the first time. Someone online, I won't say who because it's not like I know them or where I encountered it, but because I don't want this person to get shit,
Absolutely.
even though they're wrong.
Which is why you're going to tell them this.
Yes,
Tell us this.
somebody I've never been criticized for my script writing before. But I was recently for a show where there's a lot of cursing, and I realize it's because this person must be a language purist who does not feel that cursing has a place in creative writing. And I could not disagree more.
You and Jamie Markey should be in a room.
Most of
Because, I mean,
the
I
script
think-
writing stuff is like all of my script writing classes. They're like, if you cuss in a script, you will get points deducted because cussing is a crutch for people that can't write.
What if your character
And I
is...
think that's a bunch of bullshit.
I think cussing has a time and place.
I think
can
cussing
be-
because I think it's like any other word. It's like people that it's arbitrary. Well, I don't like. Okay, that's like you might as well have an English teacher that says, you know what, using any word that begins with a vowel sound is a crutch. So if you get like that's fucking bullshit.
I think using it purely as a crutch is like as a shock is a crutch. Like being like, oh, I'm going to shock people because I'm going to say fuck
as a
3
crutch,
times.
meaning something that comes in handy. Yeah.
Well, no, like it bothers me when some people are like, I'm going to make him say fuck 5 times because then people are going to go, oh, look how edgy I am. That bothers me. No, you're not edgy because you said fuck. But if you've got a character who's like some dude who's been living on the street or is like Tatum, they're going to curse a lot.
But Tatum, and you make a fine point, but that point applies to any word or trope in any fucking language. You can use anything like that as a crutch.
Ian didn't write this, did he? Because you're pointing at him.
Huh? Santorum, that word.
Don't get me started on that.
Actually,
I baited you. I'm like,
but I think a lot of people.
Sorry.
No, I'm not pointing at you in particular. I'm just pointing. I know people.
I was apologizing to Stephen for yelling into the mic. Hi, Stephen.
Oh, you said sorry, Tatum. Sorry, Steven. It's all about me. Don't you realize?
No.
I do.
So
I haven't realized that yet. Almost 3 years together on this, and I still haven't realized.
If you take a public speaking course these days, they'll tell you not to point when making a point, like on the podium or something, because people consider it threatening. What a bunch of pussies we've become. They're like, he's pointing at me. He's pointing at me. This makes me very uncomfortable.
Speech classes, I always got deducted for cussing. I'm like, look, we're in college here, and I can't say fuck. Really? What the fuck? Fuck.
I know, right? I know. It's just I think people that pretend to be offended by the use of curse words are full of shit.
It's 2012.
People aren't offended anymore. I think they're offended because I think they're just jumping at the chance to exercise their right to look like a snob about something. And it's completely like, well, you use the word fuck all the time, and that's just not what proper people are. It's a classist thing. I fucking hate it. And it's also an issue, like most curse words, I'd say like 95, if not more, % of curse words come from either bathroom related things or sex. 2 things that for some fucked up reason we as a culture are enormously uncomfortable with. So any language that's used to euphemize it, we have a very weird relationship to. And it's that people are uncomfortable with their bodies, and so people don't like words like fuck or shit because they remind them of things they can't control.
Well, Patton Oswalt actually does a whole stand-up routine about this. And he goes, I don't understand the way that we censor things, like him saying, I want to put my hard cock in your pussy and fuck you like there's no tomorrow. Can't say that, but you can say, I'm going to put my who's it in your wawa and put magic goo juice on your back. You can say that.
Yeah. They're both euphemisms. I just don't understand.
I would much rather you say you're going to put your hard cock in me and me call the cops. Yeah, there you go.
I hope somebody loops that little sound.
Dude, I'm not going to be shocked by anything.
10 minutes of Terri Doty saying something about her cock.
I've said worse in commentaries.
I agree with you, Ian, about people can use foul language as a crutch in their writing or in their everyday speech.
People use it for shock value.
But I think I think they can properly be shocking. The only reason they don't work when people are trying to use them for shock value is because we're not shocked by them anymore, and so it becomes cheesy. Mm-hmm. The same reason that some other trope wouldn't work because we're like, well, that doesn't you'll never bed a pretty young woman by telling her, my God, you make my heart sore, because it sounds cheesy to most people of a certain age group. It's all about context. I know, maybe it might work for you because you've got
I just do
pipes.
My Tatum impression, man.
See, but girls just want... I could say anything to a girl. They want me because I'm gay.
Well...
They want me because most women... I love you, darling, but it doesn't apply to you. But most women like a project. And I think that's why most women like gay men.
You would be horrible.
I'd be a horrible project, yes. I'd be like a piece of IKEA furniture.
Well, first of all, just frustrating and just miss the meatballs rather than the actual shelving unit.
Hey, my meatballs are fine.
That's what I heard.
And Swedish, also.
Swedish.
Just the balls.
What would your IKEA? What would your genitals IKEA name be? Because it's always like Hargen.
I know.
Hargen.
Something with an umlaut. It'd have to be.
I would want to go with Mjolnir personally.
What?
Mjolnir, but that's just because it's Thor's hammer.
I'm gonna go with. Mine's gonna be like an incredibly long name with like 4 S's in a row at the end or something. Like it'll be that are silent.
We have time.
Schnurgesforgen Fiemst. Schnurgesforgen is my IKEA genitalia name.
I like that. How about you, Terry?
No.
Give us come on.
She
give your
to
business
engage.
a Swedish name.
I don't.
Here. You want to know how to sound Swedish? Take your favorite curse word and just change the emphasized syllable.
No.
It's like motherfucker. You just become motherfucker, and then suddenly motherfucker.
No.
I made you a cake out of do.
No. No. You don't fuck with the classic. No.
What?
I don't know what that means.
Fucking IKEA.
The classic. I'm
The
fine
classic.
with that.
What's the classic?
I don't
name?
understand like this obsession with naming your genitalia. I mean, women really don't do it. Like, if you're being polite, I always do like say bajingo, whatchamahoosit, vagina, which always
like
makes Tia
My
laugh.
suitcase.
Vagina.
My tote.
But there was a guy.
Prada
There was a guy that I
bag.
dated that thought he was clever,
Coke
naming
store.
his Vlad the Impaler.
I for the record, let me just say, I have never actually named
Didn't
my
impale
dick
much.
or my balls or any part of my
You did
genitalia.
today, is the
I did
fun
today
part.
because I was,
Sure,
I was trying to, take part in a creative dialogue. But I will not remember what I named it, and he will not. And he, I don't even. I mean, I guess
He.
it has
Is
to
it
be
a he?
male, right? Is it a he? I don't know. My dick makes me a he, but is my dick a he?
So
That's-
anime, huh?
Anime.
We don't talk about
Shut
anime
up.
on that anime show.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that like the next hour.
So, why did I have to come in with my pants off?
Oh well.
Let's talk about that first.
Oh well.
I don't mind.
Do you want to
It's nice and
explain?
cool in here.
I am picking up sewing,
No.
and I just bought
She's
this
speaking in code, by the way. Pay
amazing
attention.
fabric that only Tatum and I can see with
Why are-
our new glasses.
Okay, for a second there, you're speaking like the ticket dispenser at a parking garage.
And
She's making me invisible britches.
yeah, I'm making you invisible. Bridget.
Emperor!
And then everyone who gets new glasses will be able to
Able
see
to
them.
see them.
But if you don't have them, then they know when you're cold.
So if they have laser eye surgery, they can see my junk.
Yeah.
Unless it's cold.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. So
Next question.
You would be okay with that because your freaky shoes.
yeah.
Your freaky
His
toe
little
shoes.
skeleton.
Little toe shoes, yeah.
weird.
I'm about to get another pair. So
Those are cool.
Anytime
Those kind
we
of
see
make you
them
look like you've
anywhere.
got cyborg feet.
I like them. I called them my Metal Gear Solid feet for a long time.
But I love when you were directing, and you'd be, especially when you first started directing, you always kind of showed up in a suit and tie.
Yeah, suit and toe shoes.
Suit, tie, blazer, jeans, and then toe
Toe
shoes.
shoes. It was for comfort. There was one session I remember doing where I did the the Die Hard thing of doing your toes into the carpet.
No.
And then I kept wearing my toe shoes. It's a stupid story, but it's there. So yeah,
Well, way to sell it.
I stopped listening to me halfway through most of what I say.
Sorry,
That's
what?
why I'm an actor. Someone writes down what I need to say.
I know, right?
And then tells
Wait
me.
a second.
We were talking about that earlier. Actors are shit. Unless you tell us what to do, we're just going to sleep all day. That is our natural state.
That's why we get agents.
Well, there was.
Where do I need to go? Oh,
I was working on a student film, and I was first assistant to the director or whatever. And someone was, I don't get it. What's my motivation? I went, you're getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
That would be your motivation.
My
Talking
motivation.
prop. Now
Rent.
go.
Like the musical? No, your Rent.
You wish it was the musical.
No, I don't.
No, I don't. A friend that was obsessed with that musical and always made me listen to it and tell me how much I needed to see it as he made me listen to the soundtrack. Like I have no. Actually, he
I
actually
hate
helped convince me that I will never see it, whether it be the movie. I
Yeah,
did like the
I've
Team
never
America
seen it.
take on it.
I
wanna
have
see it.
actually seen it. One of my ex-girlfriends took me to it on Broadway. I saw it. And on that note, we're going to change topics.
So, monkeys.
I really honestly think that all that stuff is created just to turn straight men gay.
turn them. Mm-hmm. Well, because all you do is have to watch like the right thing, and then you're gay,
no,
right?
sure.
think of it.
Well, you
think
gotta
of it.
make
I
the-
think
then you gotta make the choice,
We
and
gay
it's a whole thing.
men kind of set an impossible bar for straight men to follow because women see us and go, "Oh my God, why can't you be like that? Why can't
all
you
can't
like
be
musicals?
I have
Why
never
can't you
said
dress
that
like
to
this?"
anyone.
You are the exception, which proves the rule in most cases, my dear. This does not apply to you.
Okay, thank
but to a lot of women, at least this is the thinking. I mean, this is what we talk about in our meetings, our yearly meetings, the gays. Because have you ever seen the movie The Witches? It's like that.
You have yearly meetings, but
Oh,
you have
God,
like
I love
a
that
lot of
movie.
we meet in
parties
Oslo
between.
at a hotel.
Don't eat the soup.
Don't eat the soup. It's
Don't.
got the gay. No, anyway. Oh, now I'm fabulous.
Oh no! Now I'm fabulous.
But I think gay men, we try to set the bar very high. So your average woman who's dating some hot guy, but who's a little bit of a chode, because all men are a bit of are a bit chodish. Now feel like, well, but I can't dress like that. Oh my God. Oh, if my girlfriend drags me to one more fucking musical. And so eventually they'll just give up on women altogether, is the thinking, and come to our side, and they realize, like, we don't do that. We sit around reading comics, drinking beer all day. Dude, you had no idea. All that's a front just to throw the women off.
Someone once told me J. Michael Tatum isn't actually gay. He just doesn't buy into that whole straight thing everyone's trying to say. He's just, I ain't buying it. He's too smart to buy it.
Well, and then us at our straight meetings.
You said that, didn't you? That was yours.
Yeah.
I repeated it, so yes, I did say it.
I love you.
No,
never. I don't think. I think it does. It must be enormously frustrating, though, for any straight guy who's your average, kind of half cares about his appearance, but not nearly as much as this woman would like him to. Is like way more into sports than she would like him to be. It must be incredibly frustrating for
and you
such
shouldn't
men.
be dating him if
who
you
have a
really got that big of
girlfriend.
an issue with it. Cunt, go. Get
Damn.
out.
Well, I think there's a time and a place for a man to act like a man, and there's time and a place for men to be pretty. And some women really
But we
do
all
like
know.
very
But we
pretty.
all know those
So,
women who like
Pretty
to.
and witty and
We all know those women, and they're out there, and there's a lot of them that like to
yeah, they majored in
mark
theater,
their
yeah.
territory, as it were. So, like, the minute they start dating a certain guy, because his clothing habits change, his grooming is better, suddenly his taste in things changes, and it's not in the case of with some guys where their woman just brings out their man's natural inner tendencies toward looking amazing, which is often the case. They just need a little push.
Yeah.
I'm talking about guys who are like, I would never fucking wear this polo shirt. I would never fucking wear this Ralph Lauren outfit.
I don't think anybody should
I would
change
never,
themselves
ever,
like that for someone they're dating.
No.
But
And I
people
appreciate
you're
your
a
amendment
people
there.
do all the time.
But yeah, Steven
do
Steven
it.
had dreadlocks, and those stayed for a while, but eventually I was just like, sweetie, I just...
Women are
You're a white guy
amazing
with
and wonderful
dreadlocks.
because they do kind of do exactly that. Honey, I know you don't realize this,
But- or-
you
well, my big thing
smell
was-
like
Yeah.
somebody left milk
He's
out on the
dressed a
counter.
little more sharper now, and really it's because he didn't realize, because he's colorblind, that a lot of stuff he was wearing didn't match.
Aww.
And now he's got me to go, no, that doesn't go
I
together.
have a woman in my life now. She's my friend. I say that like everyone. No, I mean she's
No,
like,
she's pretty amazeballs, yeah.
Yes, Nessa. Her name's Vanessa. I call her Nessa.
Nessa.
She's one of my dearest friends. She's like my sister. So I say little sister, but I feel like she's older than me just because she's so much more mature, and she is. But like this crazy bitch. God damn it, I love her. She knows how to fucking dress, and she knows how to dress anybody. And I mean, not from some weird like fly by night fashionista philosophy, but like she knows how. She can look at you and be like, "This color will bring out your eyes. This will look great, and we're going to push you outside where you think your comfort zone is. So once you see yourself in these clothes, you're going to love it, and it's going to make you." Because I'm a believer now. After being in, after
Pointing
having
to
gone,
Ian.
No. It's because
Pointing.
It's funny. He brings up all this, and a lot of that he's saying I resonate very strongly with because, like, suddenly, I
suddenly see more
people like I started dating someone, and then all of a sudden everybody was like, "Oh, you started working out and everything. It's because of her, right?" And I'm like, "No, I worked out months before I met her. How do you think I got her? Come on!" And then everybody's like, "Well, you're dressing, because of-"
yeah.
No,
Dude, you've changed.
Like it's funny. Like there's certain things you are too scared to. Like they're like. I'm not going to say accessories, but like
you
shirts.
need that person to be like, yes, you can pull that off, rather than
Exactly.
live alone
You-
and go, I don't know if I can pull this off. I'm not going to try it. I'm just going to wear a hoodie
Case
and
in
a
point,
t-shirt.
Vanessa is now like my image consultant. So like I do not go shopping for clothes without her because she is just fucking amazing. That's her gift. She is really amazing at knowing what a person looks good in and what will
pretty
bring it
great
out.
about
And so
that, from
we
what I
go
hear,
shopping.
yeah.
We just went on a shopping spree for fall stuff yesterday. I'm like, I feel so amazing now because I've got.
you need new clothes now.
I need new clothes now, yeah, and and I just took care of my fall wardrobe. I know, right? I can finally even say like that word, like I give a shit about it, but I do because I'm now looking forward to October because I'm going to look fucking amazing.
I bet you are.
But sorry, but I just wanted to give a shout out. I like it. I think clothes do make the man or the woman in that case. I think the way you dress is I think the way you dress can be an extension of yourself. It can be a fundamental expression of and I think it's, and I never looked at it that way before, but like now being in Vanessa's company while we've gone on little shopping sprees a few times now, it's really a lot of fun to dress up and go like, I never would have thought I'd look good in this, but holy shit, I've got like especially being an actor, right? It's like you get to put on a new role, you're putting on a new skin, you're like, I never would have tried this cardigan, but holy shit, now I'm looking at myself in a different way, and it changes your mood. As much as listening to a piece of music might at a certain time of day. If you're in a bad mood, you put something on that makes you feel better. It's weird how that works, but I guess I never took clothes seriously as an extension of one's personality. I always kind of just thought they were an accident of your personality rather than a conscious self-expression. But I think now they are. And I don't know where the hell I was going with any of this.
I hear you saying this. Are you sure you're not straight?
Huh?
No, there's no way.
I'm pretty sure. Because I like one of the key reasons I think I love clothes so much now is because I look hot and I get hit on by hot guys, which is awesome. So, yeah.
No, if all you out there have not seen Tatum recently, he's got huge arms and big old pecs. He looks great.
Yeah.
And
Ian is looking amazing too, right? You have slimmed down. I love your hair like that.
Thank you. I was walking around. I was walking around St. Patty's Day parade, and I saw Sarah Sullivan, and I saw her like way down the street, and she was partaking in festivities, and I just hear this, Ian. And I like go, oh hey, and she goes, oh thank God that's you. I saw this guy who looked homeless, and I was like, I hope that's Ian. And I said, oh yeah, well 90% of homeless people are Ian, so that kind of worked out. And from that day I was like, I am getting a haircut and shaving my beard. And that's actually around the time I started I did a 30-day yoga binge that I followed immediately by another 30-day of martial art / strength training stuff, and then I started having to go to cons, and I found out that living healthy just it's amazing. Everything changes how you feel in the morning.
It absolutely does.
I was a night person. I'm absolutely a morning person. I eat differently.
It changes your brain. I mean, it physically, biochemically changes your brain.
I'm doing it too. I'm trying. Yeah.
And
you're succeeding as well, my dear. You look fantastic. Of course, you've always looked fantastic. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But.
Yes, and as Tatum said, I mean it because I'm not trying to fuck you.
Exactly. I have no ulterior motive. I'm angry at you for looking this good because you're you're stealing focus.
But no, we signed up for a gym actually on December 30th. And it's been 9 months, 25 pounds.
Good for you.
According to a personal trainer, I've got 50 more to lose, which I'm like, okay, I still want tits. Okay, so I'm good with like another 40.
I do not understand the fascination of bone skinny women. No. Like, I think women need curves.
I was as skinny, bone skinny, because of my bone structure, that would look terrifying.
I think bone...
Yeah, it would look weird. You would look very weird. You have a very voluptuous frame.
I think so.
And you need to fill that shit out.
If you're naturally skinny, though, I just want to say real quick, if you're naturally skinny, that is a beautiful thing, too, and love yourself and your body.
But love your shape, even if you got something to lose, which, I mean, I'm still losing. I think we're all still kind of, I don't think anyone's ever going to be like, oh, okay, I'm done, and done. But I lost it the wrong way in high school, which was just...
That, exactly.
Yeah, and then I gained it all back. And then I lost it all by chain smoking and working at a retail job.
Every body type is beautiful in its own way, and everybody is born with this beautiful gift of a body, and it's not... Shut up! My big point is not that, like... I mean, because we're not all meant to be one size, but... And there isn't, like... being super skinny isn't good. So I think being healthy is the most important.
Absolutely.
You can be a big old dude. You can be a little dude. You can that's fine as long as you're healthy.
And
Eat some fruit.
Science progresses, and we get a better picture of what healthy actually is, because say like 150 years ago, being fat was considered healthy.
That was a sign of nobility.
That was a sign of nobility. Being portly was the sign. Because, and when you think about it, like the cultural associations are there. It's like, if you're fat, that must mean you're wealthy, because you're clearly well fed, which means
you don't have to work.
You actually means the opposite now, because fattening food's so cheap.
Exactly. It's funny how that kind of changes.
You're going to send me on another rant. Okay, no. With the food, you can spend. That has been debunked. Yes, like you can get dollar burgers and everything all day long. If you took all that money and actually bought some good groceries and some vegetables.
But then the question becomes preparation. And that's something
everyone
lot of
should
people
learn how to cook.
They should,
boiling
but people won't.
Like you don't.
People don't do it because they feel that people like it's again, and it's my chief argument for just about every ill.
Needs to be in school.
It's people are just kind of like, I don't have time. My life is so hard. I'm like, we have more fucking free time in this day and age than we have ever had as a fucking species. Like, you don't have to go and hunt your own shit anymore. No. You're not working 14-hour days in some mine.
Trust Tatum. He knows he was there.
I was there.
He's in the mine.
But I mean, like, it's like people now are so fucking lazy. Like, if anything, it's everyone.
Like they make their plan and they get stuck into the schedule, and then it's like, hey, can you go by the postal office? God fucking damn it!
I know, right? Now think of it. Like, we've all been there, especially Ian and I, because I'm older than all of you, but I mean, I can remember being in high school, and there was always the one person. Usually, they were a pot smoker, and I don't mean like a recreational pot smoker. I mean someone who smoked pot every fucking chance they could. And this person may be funny and brilliant and wonderful, but they were kind of slow. Like, not mentally necessarily, but they were slow. Their movements were very kind of languid and measured. And you're like, okay, we gotta go. Okay, I'm coming. We gotta go. Get in the car. The store's about to close. And then here comes, the Tom Tucker walk.
Tom, come on. All right.
But this person, this type of person, almost always, man, if they have more than 3 things to do in a given day, it's like, Jesus, and that's, when did that become everybody in the world?
Not everybody, but
a large percentage of people, because people are fucking lazy now.
Well,
people
but
are
like doing the stuff that we do,
we're lazier, but we.
Well, no. But saying the stuff that we do, like, oh my god, it's so weird that you do this, and that. Like, how do you do that? It's like, you
just do it.
I'm like, well, I just couldn't do that. I wouldn't find the time. I'm like, yes, you would. You just won't.
You would find the time.
Pointy.
Because you're finding time for other things.
Mm-hmm.
If you
I would do that, but there's a Big Bang Theory marathon on, so...
I think people are less interested in filling their time with productive things than they are just leaving the time open for whatever they want to maybe do. So if, like, people don't like having necessarily solid things...
Leonardo DiCaprio's not going to walk up to me when I'm at fucking co-op.
He might. Leo does like the co-op.
He'll do the Leo walk.
But it's... I watched the Jamie Oliver TED Talk actually last night, all about how we need to and say what you will about Jamie Oliver. Yeah, many people love him. Some people find him pretentious. Some people have issue. Some people find us
pretentious.
Everyone finds me pretentious,
and we love you for it.
I work very hard to ensure that.
Isn't anyone going to say how pretentious I am?
Not in front of you. We should do some. I mean, when was the last time you knew somebody who had like a home ec class? Like, I wasn't taught to cook in school. Yeah. I learned. You had to do a home ec class. I went to school around here, high school. You could do child development, you could do sewing, you could do cooking. But you chose out of the home economics. You had to have a home ec class, which I did cooking, and I cooked some of the most horrible food ever.
Well, I can tell you from experience. My mother taught home ec for almost 30 years, at high school level. And by the end of her, and this is part of a long story, but by the end of her time as a teacher, I suppose, the idea of home ec was so little regarded that funding was funneled out of that, of course, into other things like football, the things that made money for the school. In other words, so they things that she needed to teach kids how to cook weren't available. Like, she was like, well, okay, so I am teaching a home ec class in which cooking is a large part, but I don't have ovens or stoves anymore, and this is the kind of shit she had to deal with.
It's like we're going to be teaching gazpacho all semester.
Yeah, it's like we're going to teach you how to make sandwiches and how to order pizza. So I mean, I think I don't know why that is. I mean, there's a lot of
kids know how to take tests though. I can take tests.
They know how to guesstimate when they don't know the answer. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, for me when I was a kid, all the multiple choice, it's like a video game. You find the one that isn't going to work. You find the one that's the longest, and one that's oddly specific is usually the one, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, or not even that, but a lot of people took the child development class probably because it was giving them parenting tips that they needed currently.
I really enjoy our unified.
But yeah, I think we're talking about food, and I think we have such a weird relationship to food now. I mean,
don't you talk shit about food?
No.
Me and food are on the outs.
I want to make this point because I want to see if you guys agree. Classically, and I mean going back to when human beings first emerged as a civilized species or something,
so
like 3500 BC or whatever. You know, our relationship to food, like when you look at the pantheon before Chris.
We're well read here, just not well
before
pronounced.
CBS. So no, our relationship to food, like the crops or the creatures we killed for hunting or the creatures we raised for the meat.
Chickens,
chickens, cows, goats, whatever.
Go on.
We had your average person, say in ancient Sumeria and Egypt and so on and so forth.
Which they actually just called Sumeria at that time. They didn't call it ancient then.
We're living here in modern Sumeria. We all got this accent. Go on.
Okay, let's say you're a potter. Let's say you're a pottery expert.
My name is
you're
Phil
a glazer
Potter.
in the city of Ur in 3200 BC. And chances are if you when you prepare your meal or you go out to get food or whatever, even in a city setting where you have the equivalent of modern day shops where you can go get this. Your experience of the food you eat is enormously visceral because in some way you were part of its becoming food. Yeah, you either helped grow it or you helped sow what reaped what was sown, or you know the guy that
the majority of it's local. There's some spices that come in or
Ian
whatever.
is brushing his beard.
Yeah, I brushed my beard for a minute.
That's adorable.
And that itself was a very slow evolution from when we began to be agriculturally based, people, and the hunter gatherer thing began to sort of taper off, and we started going more to domesticating animals, things like that. All of that, if you look at the pantheon of gods or religious rites of any peoples, it all centers incredibly on food because that's really the most important thing for anybody, at any time, anywhere. Until we figure out how to subsist on air.
I'm trying.
And so the animals that were worshipped were the animals that were eaten. The crops, the most important gods or goddesses in any pantheon were always those associated with the harvest, always, regardless. And this is across the board. And nowadays we don't have that anymore because we no longer have such a close relationship to food. It's always someone else doing it for us. We go and we buy it and it's already packaged and taken care of for us. And so it's no longer, we no longer experience, for example, in any ancient city, for example, or this is even just a few hundred years ago, if there was a bad crop or the crops didn't come in, everyone felt it immediately. Now, if somewhere in the world, like a crop of corn or something, or wheat doesn't come in, or there's a drought, we hear about it, but it doesn't affect us.
It to another
You might have had a little bit of E. coli in your spinach, but it didn't affect that other spinach that you can buy.
So because of all the modern
New Zealand or
conveniences,
something, you're just
because of technology, and I don't want to blame technology. I don't think technology is inherently bad. I just think it amplifies whatever tendencies we bring to the table. But because of technology and because of all these modern conveniences, we have a much more abstract relationship to the process that brings the food to our table, and it makes us less conscious of what we eat. I think it makes us less mindful of what we eat and how we eat, and I think that's a large role of why people take food for granted now.
I like to
have
snack food
10
around.
points. I'm sorry, food is
but go on.
thing.
I mean, that's kind of my point.
Okay, so first of all, I had a big revelation when Because you say it is one of the most important things, and it is. When we've all heard you are what you eat, and you think about that to a certain extent. But if you really,
and in some cases, people just must be eating dicks and nothing else. That
guy's a total dick. I ate a summer's eve and a dildo, and everybody's calling me a dick.
If you are what you eat, sir, you are a dick.
But like, if you really think about cellular regeneration and everything like that, where do we get the energy? Where do we get the building blocks? Where do we get the atoms to continually create this body? That because we lose, we'll shed dead cells. We will. Our body makes itself over, and where do we get all that? From the food we eat. So if you're eating like a bunch of crap and processed stuff, then that's what your body is made out of. Yeah. And that body that's going to be made out of pixie sticks ain't going to run too darn well.
And I've tried.
I know, you just bounce off the walls. And I was one of those kids who was raised on horrible food. My mom is a lovely, lovely cook, but like when I wasn't around her and when I wasn't, eating stuff with the family, I was eating horribly and pounding Surge. Surge was my thing when I was a kid. I would drink like a 12-pack in like a day and a half, and Mountain Dews were my thing. And I love Mountain Dews.
So you're still all these years later coming down off that hyper high.
I am. There are people who knew me from...
It takes you getting away from the homestead to realize like all the things that you don't... Well, like me, it's something I was reading up. I've been reading up a lot on Greece and how it was a random reference, but somebody was talking about My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and where John Corbett's character is a vegetarian, and I am. And the reason, apparently, it's so for someone who's from Greece and from that culture to think that from that culture where food was so scarce, to be picky about it is odd to them. So now, like, for my family, who I was a very chubby child, especially that year I lived with my grandmother, even the dogs were fat. There was one whose name was Babe, but we called her Gorda. Physical education, I think it's always meant as a blow-off class. Like, I'm only really learning now about strength training and things like that, and it's because I'm doing the research or getting a self-evaluation and pretending like I'll actually hire that trainer. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, think about it. Oh, my husband's saying no. He makes the decisions, I'm amazed I can drive. But I've
used a similar excuse. My girls, I'm sorry.
Women.
Anytime I have a dude come up to we're selling this door to door, I'm just like, I'm not allowed to handle the money in this house, bro. I'm sorry. She ain't home.
You didn't even make an appointment. You should go.
I'm also a dude opening the door at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and my boxers with a big old beard. Like, I don't have a job, dude.
You're fun employed.
Why don't you come in? I could use
But another problem we have is that so much of our food and as so many people in our generation and the ones that are coming after that see food like where do you get food? You get food from dispensaries. You get food from McDonald's. You get food from these are places. That's where food comes from. That is the tree of this generation. Whereas earlier ones it was like, no, we're gonna. I know what a corn cob is. I know it's not just part of what eventually becomes a tortilla, or I know it's not just a part of.
And I think it's interesting to note too. And I mean I know you're vegetarian, so this doesn't necessarily apply to you. But I mean,
which is why I can't do a lot of fast food. I just can't.
Well, yeah, because it's not. Yeah, it's sure. There's not really.
That really sucks for the trainer's argument on why to hire. How often do you go out to fast food? I don't.
What? But at some point, there used to be. But eating, especially eating meat, had a very sacred element to it.
You're taking life.
You respected
you're taking life into yourself.
And that's something. I mean, other people like Joseph Campbell have made this argument very, very elegantly. In the
Joseph
past,
Campbell.
At some point, he said probably one of the most.
He's a writer.
Joseph Campbell. Oh, we'll talk. Okay. He was a writer.
No. Continue with your point.
Well, I'll just very preface. He was a student of world mythologies and wrote many, many books on those subjects, including probably one of the most influential books in the 20th century called The Hero with a Thousand Faces.
Okay.
Anyway, but he argued and said that at some point when eons and eons ago, when life in whatever form first developed eyesight, that is when it developed a conscience, in the sense that and I'm paraphrasing him really not very inelegantly, but he said that, at that point, think of it, it's almost like the mind developed out of this horror at what it was able to see, that the fundamental truth is life feeds on life. And so fast forward a few, million years to where we're now, bipedal creatures hunting and gathering or raising crops or raising herds or whatever. When you slew something to eat it, you empathized with it because it resembled you in a way. Most of the animals we eat, for example, at least in Western culture, do resemble us in that they're mammalian and they have faces and they have emotive responses that are not so dissimilar to our own. And so there's a sacred relationship because it's serious business to take a life in order to sustain your own, and it's a big thing. We don't have that anymore because we're not involved in that process. And I'm not suggesting everyone should go out and just start killing animals and eating them, obviously.
The perspective would be good to have.
But, exactly. But do you know what I'm talking about? Like, we don't have that relationship to food anymore.
Well, we did that growing up. Because I've only been a vegetarian for 5 years. We did that growing up. Like, not me, actually, but, like, you don't name anything, blah, 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 blah. In Grandma's backyard, the goats. Where'd the goat go? You're eating the goat.
Do you remember that delicious food?
Yes.
Oh, poor goat. Give me more.
Oh, my God.
It's so like, if you want proof of how removed we are, hand somebody a whole chicken. A whole turkey, and I've watched manly friends of mine just be like, oh God, it's a leg. That is something's leg, and you're like, yes, it is, and it's going to be delicious. Be thankful for it, and don't freaking waste it.
Exactly, don't waste it.
We just got chickens, and of course, it's just for the eggs, and essentially, I guess they are kind of like pets in a way.
They're part of they're members of the household.
Yeah,
they're contributing.
We got them. You get them a few weeks before they're mature enough to lay eggs, so they've actually grown quite a lot in this first week.
They're really cool, by the way.
Yes.
They're adorable.
There is T-Rex, who's the bitch and the leader, and Steven really wanted to name her T-Rex. She-Ra, Mariel, and TBA, which will be named by Monica whenever she comes back.
I kind of hope it's going to end up TBA.
TBA.
I want you to name it the phone wave.
But we talked about, like, once they start laying eggs, like, it's best to get them before they start laying eggs. So they get kind of comfortable, and they'll lay eggs for about 2 to 5 years. They live for about 15. So what do you do after they're done laying eggs?
Teach them tricks.
Steven was like, I don't want to just have chickens to have them. And I'm like, well, we'll figure that out when we come to it. But here's the thing. He's like, what I really want to do is give the chickens to people and be like, if you really like chicken, here you go. And see what they'll do. And I'm like, don't do that to our pets. And he's like, I wouldn't be able to, but I like the idea of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I like the idea too.
An actual live chicken is only about $17. Just want to let you know.
I would like to think that, I mean, with the amount that I cook, that I would have the balls to kill and eat your chicken. But as soon as I saw those chickens about 10 minutes ago, or 10 minutes before we started this, I said, oh God, don't tell me their names, because then the next time I have a whole chicken, I'm going to think about it. Oh God, no.
This could be T-Rex. You know what T-Rex is?
And it's really funny that you mentioned that the idea that they're giving them a name is what makes it hard. That's
why they say never name it.
Because in ancient cultures, and still extant ones now that we would consider primitive, though I hate that term and think it's pejorative and relativistic.
I like extant, though.
Thank you, my big words for the day. Naming, the reason people began naming animals, it's theorized, is because we had to kill them, and giving them a name was a way of giving them an essence that was eternal beyond the body, so that killing them was not the end of them.
Giving them a name
exactly. And
power.
Exactly. And so you were doing them a great honor, and then by giving them a name before killing them. But isn't that interesting how that's evolved?
No. Eventually, you and me, Tatum, we're going to need to have a T-Rex au vent.
I would totally do it, by the way. I have no problem with
T-Rex.
it. And I have, by the way, killed my own animals before to eat when I was a kid. Yes. My father grew up on a farm and did it often. And so it was just one of those things. I didn't do it often, but I've done it before, and it's I don't know, it's a very profound experience.
I imagine.
It's complicated.
Choking your chicken can stay with you for a long time.
And on that note, let's take a break. How dare you? Oh, chicken shit. How to sound pretentious as a chicken.
This is going to this. I have a feeling this is going to come back.
Can
to
you make
haunt
the
us.
chicken sound British?
Lift. Loo. Aluminium.
Boot. Aluminium. Chickens sound the same in any language.
We should all be like chickens, guys.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I don't want to be like a chicken. I don't. They look
I don't
like
really
they have
want to be like a chicken because then
boring brain.
it's like, hey, you're a chicken. You can't drive a car as a chicken.
No, you got your arms all like. Weird
No, you don't have
feathers.
arms. You have wings that people
you got
fry
wings.
up in some shit concoction with 7 magic herbs and shit. I don't want that. I mean, how am I supposed to do things like
I need at least
my
12
hairs?
herbs.
So are you saying that if like there was a thing in our culture where we ate people, you wouldn't want to be a person?
Soylent Green is horrible.
Well,
If there was original recipe, people fingers.
it's great for crown molding. What?
What?
And we're back.
Hi everyone.
Welcome back to that.
Or, yeah, I don't know if girls really have that. Well, it's the super chip. Welcome back. Hi.
And guys do this sort of
Guys
thing,
do that
and it's
sort of
ridiculous.
thing.
Hi, it's
You just put your throat in and out.
everything.
Coming on the
sounds like
next time.
you want to make your
Oh,
throat
you
sound like a
guys,
slingshot.
seriously.
You have to have the person who's just like laughing at everything.
Oh, man. We like to have fun here.
That's Terry. Terry's having a great time.
Well, there's the other anchor. There's the serious anchor whose name sounds like 2 last names, like Chandler Young or something like
Phillips
that, or
Michaels.
like Phillips Bowles or something like that. Like it's not Philip, it's Phillips. Phillips Bowles hyphen ampersand, and
Ampersand.
and rather than sound like this, because that's usually I think
Gets
that's
a little Bill Jenkins
that's
on it.
That's weatherman talk.
And
The
trucks.
weatherman's
You're gonna
but
sell trucks.
The anchor is more much more serious, and we're going to talk like this. Similar inflections, but it's much sharper and much more almost staccato. And we're here today. Like there was news this
They
afternoon.
sound like they're on the verge of a yawn at any moment.
Yes, it's the teleprompter's effect
The
on them. Is
afternoon.
like,
Ladies and gentlemen,
I like the
breaking
NPR
news.
one.
Very
79 people drowned and another 200 were injured when a fire caught fire on the coast of Scotland.
When a fire caught
Maybe
fire
a
on the
little-
coast of
A
Scotland.
fire caught fire.
I love it. There used to be
Fire
years
caught
ago.
fire.
I used to watch the morning news when I got up for school, like 6 in the morning. And there was for a few months there was this woman
6.
on, and young thing, and she was very pretty. She was very good at what she did, but she was not terribly good at reading a teleprompter and hiding her emotion. If this was in fact the first time she was learning of the story she was reporting on,
That's funny.
And so she would be sitting there, and you could see her
I think we
slowly,
talked
like the
about this
horrifying. Yeah,
before.
this horror, her horror would just slowly dawn on
horror.
her, and she'd be sitting there going, "Yes, a family of 4 was like a family of 4 died today in a fiery car crash when their car went off the embankment of Stemmons Freeway at 4 in the morning." Like she was like slowly. It was
Well,
so.
I love
Back
that.
then, man, most people got their information through telegraphs, so like they were.
I liked, the
giving
non
me the
I'm
finger.
double
sequiturs.
barreling the bird to you motherfucker.
I like the non sequiturs and the inappropriate, sudden inflection of Hispanic names.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Which is, oh, okay, blah, 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 79 people drown, another 200.
79 people drowned.
79, and go, up next, puppies in suits. What? We'll be back. And then,
Or like,
all right, and the officer on the scene, Jose Lopez, what's that to say? I'm like, really?
It's like, thank you. I'm Maria Guerrera, Fox 4. Yes.
Get it.
the more
Yeah.
anime I do, the funnier it is for me to hear people do Japanese names, like during the Olympics. Hearing people try to say the names of the Japanese people, I crack my shit up constantly.
As long as they didn't put up the wrong flag, it's cool. That was Korea.
No, I'm not even going to
That's
start.
funny. I think all names that sound even the least bit ethnic, like let's take a random one, Steinbach. That's you'd say Steinbach now, but if you Steinbach, it's like, hello, my name is Reginald Steinbach. Channel 8 News. It's
Channel 8 News. Puppies. What else are they good
puppies
for?
and tiaras.
And up next, our new weatherman, Scott Fitzpatrick.
But they don't do that. They don't do that.
It's only down here. It's only for Hispanic names.
Yeah.
No, I
just really happy
heard some
they're-
Asian names be butchered. Like
I guess I haven't. I don't see.
Nishimara.
Trisha Taka.
Would you like tacos? No, I want some tacos.
I want
How
some
about
tacos.
burritos? Why are you saying it like that?
I gotta say, one of my biggest tragedies, you said tacos,
Tacos.
is that everywhere I go, and any con I go to, I try to taste in the food of that area. Like if I'm going to Cincinnati, I'm gonna have some Skyline. If I'm going to Chicago, I'm getting hot dogs. And I live in Dallas, and I never get Mexican food. Like, I love Mexican food.
Well, see, but the thing is, it's
it.
actually the opposite. Anytime I go anywhere, the last thing I want is Mexican food.
Yeah, no, if somebody's like, hey, this is the best Mexican food in Illinois, I'm like,
I'm Mexican, or I live in Texas. We're kind of good.
It's like when they try to give you barbecue in Charlotte,
that
North
is
Carolina,
precious.
and you're like, oh, honey.
Hey,
no,
honey.
Their barbecue, there are some areas of this.
barbecue's a little different.
It's different.
It's very different.
It's when I hear stuff like Texas barbecue, and you're like, are you going to give me quote unquote Texas barbecue pulled pork? Can I slap you? That's not a thing.
When I was in Canada, I had a quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
Did they call it it's a quesadilla. I have Canadian family. I cannot do a Canadian dialect.
it's
if I'm around
they're
Canadians,
hard.
I stare at them.
You just have to say sorry and a
Sorry.
Yes,
And
but don't
their
do like
A's
some
are
people and go,
wider.
sorry. Because they do not sound like Grover from Sesame Street, as we've discussed.
My dad's Canadian. He would always tell us when we were kids and we were screwing up. He'd say, "You're making really poor decisions." And I'd go, "Poor, Dad, poor." There's 2 O's, Ian.
Poor.
Sorry,
Poor.
My own family makes fun of me for saying mom.
ma'am.
Ma'am.
Well, I'm sorry, mom. Oh, it sounds so unnatural. Mom.
Mom.
Hey, mom.
I like ma.
Mom. Ma.
I should say
Mama.
mother.
All right. We got some questions. All right, we probably won't get to all of these. Thanks to everybody that submitted. And yes, to remind people, we have not taken call-ins since episode 3. Please do not call that number.
Are people actually calling
People
that number?
keep calling it. Our first 3 episodes, we had call-ins. We only had like Benjamin Oscar, who's adorable, and like Chris Kaysen calling, and Bill Fender. I think those are the only people. But people still call in. They're like, this lady answered.
That fucking cracks me up.
gonna have
Where
to go
are
in
they
and edit
going
those
that
episodes.
number's still even up anywhere for them to call? I mean, like, where
Is
are
that
they?
studio still running?
Yeah, but I mean, like, where are they finding that number being associated with our show anymore?
I think
like,
we mentioned it during the show.
I posted.
I clearly have not listened to the first 3 episodes in a while, but I think I need to go back and edit those out. Please don't call that number. We do not take call-ins.
Technology has changed.
We do not
since
take
then.
call-ins. We do not have a Skype.
You can
We do not have
contact us
anything.
on our
This
beepers.
is not live. That's why we can cuss.
I'm noticing none of you have beepers.
I know. I'm so behind.
You've just met the beeper
I have a
king.
beeper.
Okay.
Little
No, I don't
beep
have a
over
beeper.
there.
Let's ask some
I have a
questions.
coop of carrier pigeons.
All right. First question.
Don't doubt that.
Eon.
Yes.
Yawn.
Eon.
Yawn.
All right. This is from Megan.
Megan. Hello,
Yay!
Megan.
Ian Sinclair is
Megan.
here. That's her.
We're so sorry, Megan. This is just how she.
I really enjoyed your work as Dallas from Bacano. Agreed. That's me. It's awesome. And Romano from Italia. Which Ian was very sweet, side note. And there was someone dressed as Italy in Maine last year, and Ian was nice enough to let me call him, and so she could talk to him, and she lost her mind.
She was very nice. She's a very
She's
nice
just like,
lady.
oh my god! She was there this year, and she's like, I remember you. I'm like,
Because
well,
you're
I
so
hope so.
sweet,
I
that's
called
why.
Ian Sinclair for you.
just like those guys.
But okay,
I play a
so
lot of
Very
Megan
sweet of you.
says, since you seem like an expert at douchebag characters, what is your greatest douchebag moment for everyone? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh my
Define
god.
douchebag moment.
Douchebag moment.
You gotta
You
define
define
it.
it.
Like,
You
is
define
it one that where I'm being a douchebag, or like this douchebag, or like?
I think
what are you comfortable
Megan
with?
wants you to just like whether it's you.
I
or,
love. Well, I will say about douchebag characters. I love douchebag characters.
Fun.
I play for a lot of my characters guys who shrug and are dicks. Just like, whatever, you suck. Like that's just kind of been a trend apparently.
I never cast you as a douchebag.
I appreciate it. I'm getting away from it, and some of my newer roles are far from it.
You're pretty neat.
You can't see me blush because it's a webcast. But I like playing assholes. My favorite characters are actually, I call them the Zap Brannigans. And I really want
Brannigan's
to.
Law.
There may one day be an Andy Kaufman-esque character that comes out at cons, but
As long as it's not you going like ha 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 for like 5 minutes.
But I love always like the Bill to an extent Bill Shatner and the Robert Goulets and the Zap Brannigans.
The Robert Goulets.
I friggin' love them because there's a sense of a loss of touch with reality, and it's like you really think you're something, don't you? Oh god! And people like that, and we've met them, and they're people that we all know that are
Yeah.
It's those people are awesome, and generally, and I know most people will clam up around a complete and utter like douchebag, but like if there is somebody, and the reason I like Goulet is that these are people who are so high up in their fields, and they are really good at what they do, and all these douchebags that I'm talking about, really good at what they do. And
that's how they became douchebags.
That's how they become douchebags, because enough people tell them that they're awesome that they kind of lose touch.
Or perhaps they always aspire to be douchebags, and they realize that's the best way to go about it, because people only suffer a douchebag if you're really good at something that they need.
I don't know if they ever wanted to be a douchebag, but they may have at some point realized they're a douchebag.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to become
I like
a douchebag.
to think that they wake up like that was their dream. Like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I just want to be something that will allow me to be a douchebag.
Well, a lot of people grow up very nice people, and then they get their heart broken or something, and then they just become
and they get mad at the world.
Intolerable douchebags.
I dated that person, yes.
Exactly. And those characters I just adore. I don't like douchebag. A real douchebag, I think, in everyday life is the asshole where you've got a 20-floor, you're at a convention and you're in a hotel with 20 different floors, and you're on the 5th floor, and they get off and they press every button and laugh and run off. That's a douchebag. Because the next, 8th floor or, whatever you have to do, you have to deal with because, I'm funny. No, you just, pissed off 10 people who, for no reason, hurting people for no reason, that is intolerable. Loving yourself and not shutting up about yourself, I will laugh and I will sit at your table telling you how much I think you're awesome and just watching you be a douchebag. Because I like that. I like watching people spin their little wit. They're not hurting
and they're giving us wonderful stories
There's
to tell
polite
later.
type of douchebag. You are giving me a story, yes.
Exactly.
And they have great stories. Whatever, they're still talking about something that was a cool thing. They're just talking about them and at some point you got to be like, okay, I got to go get a drink because you can only take so much.
But how do they get laid, or do they just keep talking?
Because some people don't see through the douchebags, and a lot of douchebags
don't
actually
have the douchebag filter glasses.
know how to. It all actually. Here will be my douchebag moment. People who don't use their signals, and I hate that. I hate people who won't use their blinkers because they're like, nobody's going to let me in if I use my blinker. Fuck you. Nope. I hate that. Nothing will give me road rage faster than just not using your damn blinker. It just pisses me off. But douchebags. The douchebags that bother me are people who don't use their blinker. B, people who don't take responsibility for their own actions. And C,
said I was sorry. God.
Dudes who every girl is like, he's so nice, and then you're like, no, that guy's a complete asshole. But because you're a chick, he's nice to you. I get bothered by that. Like, oh, that guy, he's the sweetest guy I've ever met.
Sweet.
Are you kidding me? The guy who gets in the booth and talks about like how he hates fat chicks, and I fuck this chick and I fuck that chick, and he's completely crass around women and inappropriate and shit like that.
They don't get called up there very often.
They and yet no. I mean, not even fun of me. I've experienced people like this all my life. That guy, and maybe it's because I've been an actor and I've been around a lot of actors.
A lot of casting calls where you're like, God
I hate that guy. I hate that guy. It's because they're like so
Why are we
fake,
up for the same
fake
role?
people, stuff like that. I just can't handle it.
Yeah.
But a full-on douchebag who just thinks that they are the shit and God's gift to whatever field they're in, I love them. Love them.
You?
I have a lot of douchebag moments, but I think it's probably better to speak of them in the abstract, as Ian just did. So I will say my least favorite type of person. I mean, I'm with you on like douchebags that are just fun to watch because they're not hurting anybody. They're just so self-indulgent and so self-absorbed that it's like it's kind of like it's almost like watching an amazing natural phenomenon, like a geyser or
Because you don't get to run into that in nature.
No, it's really amazing. You're like, you are a distillation of everything that's wrong with people, and yet I can watch you at a safe distance. It's like it's like watching a really awesome explosion behind blast glass. But I think as far like for me, like douchey people are, I don't know, my least favorite type of person are people like what time vampires, people that, and I don't mean the person that can't shut up or I mean friends. We all have friends that take up a little more time than you'd like to do sometimes because they're complicated. So they need you to do a favor and it ends up being 5 favors because it ends up becoming a fucking scavenger hunt.
Ask you to be on
When
their
you already
show.
had 3 things to do that day, and I'm
just joking.
but you know, there's that kind of person. But I mean, you know, those aren't douchebags. Those are just people that are those are inconvenient people that you may love for other reasons, but you have to realize, oh, okay, if I want the rent from them, I'm going to have to drive them to their friend's house. Then I'm going to have to drive them and their friend to get the money for him from someone else, and then we're going to end up. And before it's all said and done, this will be a fucking movie. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people in public, strangers who seem to have absolutely zero awareness of how much fucking time they are sapping from the lives of everyone around them by either being in line for something and acting like, and asking stupid fucking questions. Like this happened once. Do you remember there was a restaurant where you go and you order, it wasn't a fast food place, but you do go up and order like a fast food place. And the menu's right up there. There's brief descriptions under everything. And these fuckers would just sit there and be like, Now what about that? What does that taste like? And just go on and like you're behind them going, why don't you set aside? It tastes
if you spend like 10 minutes in a drive-through,
I hate
drive
that
my
shit.
shit insane too.
I hate that shit. People that just and people that expect like 4-star treatment from like someone at a drive-through window. It's like people that just have unrealistic expectations because they're like, I'm never going there again. I'm like, and they give a shit. They really care. Trust me. I mean, people like that.
The customer is always right. No, sometimes the customer's an asshole.
Yeah.
And many times the customer's an asshole.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate people that take up my time.
Time vampires are good.
Yours is very valuable.
Yeah.
No,
it's not. It's mine.
It could be because it's not. I wish I'd realized he was a douchebag before I dated him for a year and a half. But the political douchebag. Yes, where I do not talk about politics. The things, blah, 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 but always wants to have an argument. Austin is always the most interesting city.
Yeah.
And
I do like Austin.
Whatever you're programming, it's fantastic and it's going to change the world. Yeah.
You know what, douchebags out there? Let me just tell you something. I have spent a good portion of my life being a douchebag, and just try. Just at some point, ask somebody if you are a douchebag, and get some perspective.
Have someone honest.
Have somebody honest. Go, I'm kind of a douchebag, and if that's so, find out how. And if you want to change it, just you
need those people around you that it's like, hey, just so you know, what you said was really mean or really rude. And like, was it?
You need that though. You need that. And I have friends within our community that I go, hey, dude, if I become a douchebag, you need to stop me.
If at any point I say this, cut me a little.
Yeah. Stuff like that. I love
except I just to be devil's advocate, the douchey devil's advocate, if I may. You have to be careful because then you open up the door for all the little pussies that everyone you're like, well, you said that and then I'm hitting me. Like, shut the fuck up. Okay.
Oh,
yes.
no. None of you get to tell me.
Yes. Sometimes in life, it is utterly appropriate to be a douchebag.
Okay. No, there are douche moments. Yes.
Right. But I say being a douchebag overall is just like it's the reason. Maybe we can say the reason. Maybe my own personal reason of why I don't like douchebags or why I think what makes a douchebag douchebag is that their life is comprised of nothing but douche moments. And this is a person who only has one trick up their sleeve and uses it in everything. And that just doesn't such people are boring. I think that's
don't
why
want to get
douches are
frequent
boring
flyer
in that sense.
miles on the douchebaggery airline, but
'Cause I can be a
occasionally
douche.
I'll take the douchebag,
I
jet.
can be a douche. Like if you come, like we were mentioning earlier about
We can all
like
be douches,
You
yeah.
cut like someone who comes to your door selling a magazine subscription, and you're always like, "Well, I can't. I don't make those decisions." I am a complete douche to such people because I mean I have fun with it. I have fun with it. One, I'm not hurting them really. They don't give a shit if I buy this or don't buy it. They're doing this for some school fundraising project, and they just have to go out and do it. And at least I'm giving them a story. I also really just hate the fact, like, if you're going to sell me meat off the back of a truck.
I've bought meat off the back of a truck.
Or if you're gonna come to my
Iowa
door,
raised.
or if you're gonna come to my door and ask me about my opinion on the end times and whether I know Jesus, you better be prepared for a discussion.
I have a cousin named Jesus.
And
yeah.
so-
I want to
yeah,
show up at your
yeah.
door and ask you those
Well,
things.
but you know me, and so
I
I'll
want
just-
to have
I'll
those
just- I'll
conversations.
just pour you a drink and we'll whatever. But I mean, if you're a stranger, so I'm a complete. That's my thing, and that's when being
They
a douchebag.
cosplayed as Kyoya and asked you if they could talk to you about the Bible.
But I think anybody who and yes, you're right. No, not to open up the door for everybody to be like, oh, you were a douche at one time. It's nice to have a couple of those people, but I think anybody who wants to improve themselves, I think that's a good thing, and you can.
Oh, yes.
You can
Absolutely you
undouche
can.
yourself.
Yeah, you can.
Not in all sense.
you can undouche.
I want a T-shirt that says that you can undouche yourself. Please don't make me that shirt.
Go.
Okay,
The
what's the next
opposite
question?
of vinegar and
Look
water.
at that. Okay, let's see.
What is
This
that?
one
Honey
comes-
and
Oh, that sounds
This
horrible.
is similar. This kind of rips on a similar theme. It's a similarly structured question. This comes from Ashley.
hi, Ashley.
Ashley.
And I'm just going to read it in a weird voice, although Ashley does not reflect my opinion of you. Oh my god, I want to read it like that now.
Do it.
I would like to ask a question. I can't do that. This
Don't.
person's going to feel so bad.
Ashley's
No,
nice.
Ashley's very nice. I don't want to do that.
I'm sure you are.
No,
would
I
like to-
don't
okay,
know,
I-
Ashley. I'm just
okay.
saying she submitted a question.
And Ashley may be a guy for all
Anybody
I know.
who
Ashley,
submits a question for me
Ashley's
is
a
awesome.
like
Ashley is a dude name. One of the
is a
best
dude- is a
commercial
dude-
voice actors in
There's
Dallas.
a lot of
named
Ashleys. So I apologize if I assume you're a female. You may not be.
Good for you.
But your question
Is like, I am a girl.
read in a neutral tone, so as to not offend anyone, because I don't want to be a douche. I would like to ask a question, says Ashley.
Okay.
It's mainly for Ian, but it would be a treat to have J. Michael, and Terry answer as well. What's the biggest what the fuck moment of your life? It could be bad or good, but it needs to be one of those moments that made you go, literally, what the fuck?
I have.
It's a good question.
My
There's
life
several.
has been a string of that.
Kicking you.
I had one theater
Touching me.
experience that was pretty fun, and well, all of mine kind of go around craziness, like crazy people, which is always fun. I like crazy people. Like there's
Crazy
a
people-
certain extent where I do like, and I'm not talking actually,
They can always be
illness, but
counted
I
on to
mean,
keep
like,
things interesting.
intense, like, and so we're doing this one play, and we're doing Titus Andronicus, and so we're all at the end, and everybody's dead, and there's this whole
Spoiler, dude.
spoiler. Shakespeare just came out. People haven't read it yet. It's like Twilight. I just had to say that once.
I'm gonna kick you in the balls, Ian.
Then
They
you can be in
hurt. They hurt
Twilight.
because of Twilight. Wouldn't be the first to
So
say
you
that.
must be a Twilight vampire.
Do they have balls?
I don't know.
Sparkly little things.
They turn
Powdered.
into,
Anyway,
they turn into diamonds in the sun.
so we're doing Titus, and we're all there's this big symbolism about because it's a reading of it, and it's a staged reading, and we have flowers, and you have a red flower if you are dead, and a white flower if you're alive, and it kind of helps separate out who's dead and alive because everybody freaking dies in that play.
Yes.
And so the final monologue from Aaron comes out, and he's in this. They take his rose from him as they take his child, and so that's supposed to. In that way, it's not his life; it's his child. It's symbolizing how his child is his life, and so they take off this child and this rose, this white rose from him, and he's sitting there. He's in this pool of spotlight, and if ever there was one good thing that I did in my life, I do regret it. And he's giving this big speech. And in the middle of it, Soldier C walks out from like the line, because we're all just lined up behind him, just walks out, improvising, in Shakespeare, of course, and takes off his rose and goes, "Here, for you, go." And I've never witnessed, because as an actor, there's always, and I don't know if this is just me, but when I was doing a lot of stage, there's always something far, far, far back in the back of your head that goes, what if I just start screaming, pork chop, in the middle of...
Shakespeare was ahead of its time in a lot of ways.
Like what? I think that's an actor thing. You have that thing because
at any moment, I could really fuck this up.
I could just
dude,
like
I
start
could really...
shimmying or something and like oh, like just like start freaking out, dancing in the back, and like so you always have that in the back of your head. And I watched someone do it. On the final, like it was a preview. There were a couple people there, but the director was kind of sitting up front and occasionally would give notes and everything. And I watched the director go, "No, what are you? No, don't ever do that again. What? No!" And everybody just was like, it was so shocking to see an actor improvise like that. I've never seen any of this.
Where did you get off?
It was amazing because...
what the fuck?
What the fuck just happened?
Okay, this makes me kind of think of a story. It's my own what the fuck moment. This is by no means my largest what the fuck moment. I think my largest what the fuck moment came recently, and I'm not going to discuss
Don't do it.
Ever, actually.
Here's the story.
It's very, very bad.
Of a lovely lady.
But yes, but this happened when I was in high school, and home ec. See, we had home ec class. And our teacher, whose name I cannot recall, probably a good thing for her.
Miss Frizzle.
Was fucking nuts. And
sure.
I mean nuts. I mean, like, baked her own jewelry in the oven, nuts. Like, that kind of person, right? Well, we had these... Do you remember ever having to do flower babies? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, where the flower.
Basically, the assignment
you told
is
us a little bit about this before, but I don't think on air.
Egg babies.
Okay,
like,
it's similar to egg babies,
around.
but what you do with the flower babies, the students bring bags of flour to class, and you dress them up
flour.
Like, yeah, flour, not like flour children,
Flour
but bags of flour.
Like, those things aren't gonna last.
Like 5-pound flour bag, whatever, and you bring it and you dress it up like a baby. You put a little head on it and little arms and legs like made out of stuffed bits of pantyhose, and you draw on it and you give it clothes and a diaper and all that, a name, and then the home ec teacher draws up a elaborate birth certificate for you, and then for 6 weeks you have to have this child with you, and you have to bring it to class. The whole idea is just teach you responsibility, and I guess to make you empathize with teenagers that are pregnant. I suppose. I really don't know. But if you leave these things in your locker, or if you don't keep a very, very precise journal about when you fed them and when they slept and all this, you fail. And if you fail at any time, the teacher would kill your flower baby. And I mean, in our class, we had one girl who completely just left it in a locker or lost it or something, and someone found it. And so during class that day, our crazy teacher appears to us dressed in a surgeon's outfit with the mask and the hat and everything, and puts the flower baby, on a chopping block, like a cutting board rather, and with a meat cleaver, makes the girl stand up in class next to it and give her this, reads her the riot act about how irresponsible she was, and very dramatically raises the meat cleaver over her head, her own head, not the girl's, and the girl is now crying, and says something to the effect of "You have killed your own child," and then fucking cleaves that goddamn sack of flour in half in front of everybody. The girl then goes screaming out of the room, and the rest of us are just, and then the crazy teacher puts everything away, takes off the smocks and the gloves and the mask, and goes right on teaching the class like nothing happened.
Let's learn about erosion now.
That was that was one of my biggest holy fuck moments in my life, is seeing an adult, not just an adult with responsibilities, not just an adult with responsibilities, but an adult responsible for other children. Do this thing, and that's when I realized adults are nuts. Adults don't know what the fuck they're
just
doing.
grown up crazy kids.
Yeah.
I see a zombie painting behind you when you're telling the story, and I was just imagining her biting into the side of the bag, just flour.
I'm sure
I know,
there's some
zombie
class where
stuff
she
in
did
my
exactly
office.
that.
It's odd.
It's awesome.
I have several. There aren't many that are appropriate for this show.
because I'd have to name names. So, there are some lawyers involved in those. But, there was, my what the fuck, it's a what the fuck moment, not a big, I know, totally steering away from the biggest what the fuck moment, Ashley.
I don't think these are.
There's really no such thing as. Well, there's really no such. I find there's no such thing as the biggest what the fuck moment.
There's several, and you know what? We still got a lot of living to do. They're going to be more what the fuck. I'm pretty sure
the biggest what the fuck moment will be when I die. I'll be like, that'll be my last words. Is what the fuck?
Mine'll probably be, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I'll be like,
yours is a. Oh, what the fuck?
Actually, mine will probably. My last words were like, oh god damn.
What? Underage drinking. Hey, it was fun. Whatever.
We do not.
Don't do it. Don't drink and drive.
Naughty girl.
Da, da, da. But yeah, by the time I was 17, I was weird because I quit drinking for the time.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'd had my fun, mixing whatever your parents weren't going to
miss.
Having Dr. Pepper and Jack.
Vermouth and triple sec drink.
Oh, God. But, okay, so there was this guy, Roman, who, his parents always knew. So his parents actually just threw parties. And everyone knew you just went to Roman's. And the cops would come, and the parents would make the kids hide. And they just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Well, that's responsible.
Yeah. Really. Met a lot of exes that way. They weren't exes then. But yes.
Future exes.
I became designated Doty because I was the only sober one, so I'm the one that drove everybody home.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, you were the veteran by that point. You were like, I'm done.
It was December. It was winter of our senior year, and Roman cops got called. And I'm like, let the cops get me. I'm sober, whatever. And everybody else is hiding. And I ended up just watching people get escorted out, cops, everything. And I'm watching this, and a cop starts walking up to me, and I'm like, I'm not scared. Why are you walking up to me?
I'm scared.
And then the cop
come at me, bro.
Does this little, cop stance where he's about to explain something and proceeds to tell me what happened at this party and not to be alarmed and that my children shouldn't be alarmed. And that's when I realized this cop thinks that I'm a parent of one of the kids. So he went, well, ma'am, what happened is some kids were drinking, partying, nothing to worry about, So which one's yours? I'm like, I'm 17 years old. What the fuck?
I hope you pointed to your then boyfriend. Goes the one.
No.
That's when you pull your flower baby out of your backpack. This one, officer.
Whichever one has $50 cash. That's my kid. But yeah, what the fuck?
I like that.
Yeah.
What the fucking fuck?
I feel like a good what the fuck. Never mind. Like I have new ones, but I'm like, no.
I know, right?
You can't because you don't want to publicly admit that they happened.
Yeah, half of them are like, I can't talk about that one.
Like the one I told you guys right before I got here that happened at the studio.
Like the one I told you a few weeks ago that happened.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
We have a lot. Yeah. Okay, so
next question.
I think a good segue from what the fuck is Joel McDonald questions.
Joel McDonald questions. Yes.
Joel McDonald had a question. I know. He hates it when you do that. Don't do that.
Well, I always say that, and I would never. The one time I went, Joel McDonald, he went, stop that, or I'll fucking kill you.
Joel
kind of.
McDonald
he will and can kill you. But Joel
McDonald.
Joel McDonald is one of the coolest dudes. I've known. Joel is actually one of my oldest friends.
He scares
in Dallas.
me a little. He scares me. I mean, I love it, but he scares me.
He shouldn't scare you.
No, he scares me in a good way. He scares me in the way that like anybody living on a higher level of existence than myself does. It's intimidating.
I can accept that.
Does that make sense?
All right,
he's one of those guys that if you have a problem with Joel, it's like, what? Why the fuck do you have a problem with Joel? He's like one of the most real dudes.
It's like being the guy that's like, no, you know what? I just don't like ice cream.
You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What has ice cream ever done? You know damn well.
Okay, do you not like ice cream, or are you like allergic to something?
Are you just
exactly?
All right.
Did ice cream fuck your ex-girlfriend?
Well, you know what? I mean, I don't
Awkward.
Steven knows if I'm talking about his boyfriend, I'm talking about Joel. Joel and Steven.
I know. Trust me.
Oh, everybody who's ever met them and had them like work together as director and engineer, like those two belong together. They'll find a way back to each other.
Thank you for bringing that up.
They are
I used to be
hetero
with Steven.
No, you guys were a different dynamic. You guys were hilarious. It's too bad both of you didn't have beards at the time.
Yeah, guess what? He grew after working with me.
It's you.
Oh,
Really?
No, you two were funny.
Really?
No, okay. Joel and Steven are like a married
Little
couple.
obsessive
You
there,
and
little
Steven were like
obsessive.
brothers.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, dude, like Steven's very quiet, but with Ian, especially when I was working with Ian or anything, he'd be like, Ian would say something, and Steven, who's very quiet, is like, dude, what the fuck?
what the fuck, bro? I don't know. I'm hyper sorry, dude.
Yeah, if Steven went here telling his what the fuck moment stories, you would figure in probably a dozen or more.
Probably, give or take.
Yes, but Ian,
Yes.
I think it's clear that you guys work together well because you did on Black Butler.
Black Butler teenagers.
It was such a pain in the ass.
Oh, right. So, Joel McDonald's question.
You're amazing. You know I love you. You know I love you.
Hey, Ian.
Yes.
If some hypothetical person started a
Hypothetically.
Twitter page for
Like you
you
do.
and has been running it as you for several months,
As you.
theoretically recognize how it's
Theoretically.
indirectly your fault, right?
Indirectly,
Yes.
your fault.
Yeah?
Yes. That's the answer I'm going to give.
Okay, yeah.
Go. Next question.
Joel McDonald.
Joel McDonald also asks, what do you do to your beard to ensure that it maintains that burnt vagina smell?
Rub a burnt vagina on it.
Duh.
How does that work, though? Where do you find burnt
You have
vaginas?
to. Well,
It's kind of like a
it's more-
sure, unsure moment.
it's not really burnt. It's kind of like roasted. It's
Pan-seared?
No, you can't use a pan on a vagina. What
Sure
the
you
fuck
can.
are you talking about? You can't use a pan on a vagina.
Sorry.
It's
I
you got to
disagree.
get
Like a
these
smoked
little
vagina.
Regardless, you have to lay down.
Hickory.
And but you don't. The most important part is your beard needs to be at that soft point. Because if not, nobody will have fun. Next question.
All right.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Joel has a problem here. So,
Oh.
is there anything
Clearly.
funnier than whispering lines from Sling Blade during sex? Answer as if you're talking to a furious girlfriend who changed her Netflix password and won't tell you the new one.
No, there's nothing fun. No, because biscuits and mustard is the best thing to say when you're. Fuck this.
Does coffee make you kind of nervous when you drink it? You like French fried potatoes?
Him shouldn't have done that. Him's just a boy. Him shouldn't have done that.
I'm going to try that next time I have sex at some point.
You
if I
haven't
remember.
used funny voices in the bedroom?
Huh?
Bullshit.
What's that?
Oh, boy.
I don't use that voice in the bedroom.
Well, not that
When, well,
Sometimes I will use Sebastian's voice.
I like
I
to
am
use
tired
boy
of having your
voices when
voice.
Steven's
Brother
trying to go to
Red likes
sleep
it.
and pretend like
I
he's
find
keeping me
that
hostage.
awesome.
Like,
Now,
he's
if
like,
ever
I'm so
want-
cold.
if I'm ever
I just
not
want to
in
go
the mood,
home.
If I'm ever not in the mood, and Joshua is, it's rare that happens, but if I'm ever not, like, all I have to do, there's a number of voices I can use that will just stop it immediately.
Don't.
I had one girl who really, in general, liked me doing an Irish dialect and would ask me to do it all the time.
I once dated a guy just because he was Scottish. Yeah. It was a nice accent. I couldn't do it before.
It
Now I
is.
can.
That's why I dated Gerard Butler. Go
Joel
on.
also asks, you don't hear Hoff laugh out loud too often. Is he
I do.
self-conscious about how he sounds like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman?
It's so annoying.
It's not
Really?
a self-conscious thing. He's aware. But
He's aware, but he doesn't. I mean, I like to offer him jewelry and then slap the lid of the box closed as he reaches for it all the time, and that always gets a giggle out of him.
Actually, the one time I did it, he didn't laugh. He was really upset.
Probably because he wanted me to do it.
Probably.
You
Yeah.
can't have like the
But
other
I'm
master
telling you
give
this,
a treat,
he likes opera now.
No one can tell him he can't have the fancy dress in the store.
He actually did have something of a Pretty Woman moment. We gave him a bit of a makeover. Not makeover, just kind of like, okay, you can wear a black shirt still all the time, yes. But how about a button-up rather than a T-shirt all the time? Or things like that. And there was someone that was very rude to us. He went a few months later. And they were like, can we help you? He's like, no, I don't think anyone in the store can help me. And walked out!
Good for you, Steven.
Love you.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's fucking
And I'm like,
awesome.
you just had a Pretty Woman moment. He's like, I don't get that.
I don't know. I love how we're like yelling through the wall when the mics are right here, and you can hear. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, guys?
Okay.
We love you, Steven.
I think
Good
we can
on
do
you,
some
good
lightning
on you.
round. Yeah?
Lightning round. Wait, lightning round.
That's
thunder.
Which usually is attendant upon lightning, you fuck.
all right. This is from Laura. Lightning round. All right.
Lightning round.
I teach part-time, and since it's on my mind this time of year, I was wondering, ... If you had to give a what I did over summer vacation report in 5 words or less, what would it say?
5 words or less? 5 words or less?
Prepared for that anime show.
You lying sack of shit.
I did. 8 video games.
5 words or less. You come up with something. I got to think about this for a second. Let's see.
Conventions, flight delays, being awesome.
That's like a really weird haiku you just did.
Conventions and new ramen place. That's mine. I found a
Tell me about
ramen
this.
place that like I cannot stop going to.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Come on.
Oh no. Or believing.
Working out and being awesome. I'm kidding.
Oh god, yeah.
And modest.
That's been a lot of
No,
this
yeah, I'm
week.
modest. Crushing on Chris Hemsworth. That's
Crushing my enemies,
Did you
seeing
get the
them
photo
driven
I sent
before
you?
me. And
Which one?
hearing
I
the
sent you a
lamentations the
photo
women.
of Thor and his stunt double, and his stunt double was
I
moving
didn't see
hair
it.
out of his face. And
Oh my god, you're just moving. I didn't
I'll
see this.
send
Oh my
you
god.
it
Oh my
again.
god.
I was wondering why you
the
didn't
idea
respond.
alone is giving me an erection. What?
He's not lying.
I would be Thor's hammer. Or I would
Which is
hammer
Are
Thor.
you Thor?
I'm so Thor. After last night. What? You're saying? Sorry, what?
Mjolnir is the name of the hammer. We went over this. That's
Yeah.
my genitals.
Yeah, I know, honey.
I know.
Classic.
Lightning round.
Okay, wait, lightning round.
Why don't you guys lightning round
Delaney, which superhero or supervillain would you kill, and as which character that you have played?
As which Oh,
Yeah.
That's me.
Is that your answer in
That was
burpees?
nice.
You can listen to more on a special feature of Panty and Stocking with Sorry. Chuck knows. Come on.
You know, I've been reading a lot of Thor lately. Actually, funny enough.
Yay.
I would go for Loki, and for a few reasons. A, Loki's a dick, and yes, and
He's a
I
dick.
even read one issue that was really cool where he was like, "You don't get pissed at this god for doing this. You don't get pissed at another god. I'm the god of mischief. I have to do this." And like for that, it's like okay. And right now, there's a big culture of Loki love because the movies made him out to be just this really sad, like, I didn't know I'm adopted. Now that I know I'm adopted, I'm gonna destroy everything. And you know what? I know I loved those movies. I really did. I am a Marvel fanboy, hardcore. But Loki is a dick. And like I started reading a lot of old Thor and new Thor, and just because I spend way too much money on the Marvel app, but like
I'm totally
I guess
going to the comic
I'm
book
kind of
shop after this,
angry
by the way.
about like the not angry. I'm bothered by the fact that he's like this. Oh, it's Loki. Read the comic books. No, it's not all Loki.
We had this discussion, and I'm kind of
Yes,
with
and
you.
you go. Are you mad about the fictional character? Yes, you did.
I
and
did,
then you
because
were
I was
asked,
being a dick. I also had a few drinks, but it's my job to give you shit because I'm being mischievous.
It's yes.
I've seen the paperwork. It's actually really weird that was even drawn up.
Yeah, it's really strange, and I had to sign it in blood. Well, it's referred to in blood as blood in some cultures. Anyway, no. What was I saying? No. I'm with you. I kind of agree with you. And though I do like the movies, and I love what's his name's performance.
Tom
Loki.
he did a great job.
I think it's
He was
wonderful.
amazing.
I think the tendency.
kinda
I think the
petty.
tendency to reduce a villain's essential mystery about why they do what they do to something that's like easily explainable in psychological terms is kind of reductionist and uninteresting now. I think it's
He's
also
a
cliched.
god.
He's a god, and I think him just being kind of an avatar of mischief is far more interesting and leaves a lot more questions open than like when he's
Absolutely.
mad because of something that happened in his childhood.
'Cause
I don't
isn't
like
it
that
way
approach
more fascinating,
necessarily.
like,
I don't
that it's
dislike it. I find the other
compulsory.
one more interesting though.
It's
This is
compulsive
a
for him.
horrible lightning round.
Like he has to.
This is a really horrible.
You
Well, we're
mentioned
talking about.
comic
Well, we are
books.
talking about Thor.
I see what you did there.
Okay, so who would you be?
Loki, and I would kill him as the guy that will be announced in the next few months.
Supervillain I would kill.
Supervillain or superhero? You can do
I
either.
would do it as Reiner if it's somebody that's
Supervillain.
So you're killing a supervillain as a superhero.
killing Loki as Reiner
Or no, you're killing a supervillain as a character that you played.
or hero.
Yeah,
Okay.
or you could just ignore that part of the question and do what we did and make it our own thing. Okay, but no, okay, character you played. Okay, it's a character you played. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I would probably, who would I kill? Supervillain. I would kill. Oh shit. I don't know. I would kill Bane because that would be like the baddest ass thing to do in the world.
Oh, you're going to kill Bane. Why are you making Bane sound like he's from Argentina?
He's supposed to be from Argentina, but
No,
instead
it's not. It's supposed to be some fictional Latin American
Yes,
country.
it's Latin American, but not sort of that kind of. It would be bad for. I like this for you. You guys don't know this, but I've got my hands in front of my face, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
Look up, by the way, Apfia. Her comic
I
strip.
saw her comic
Yes,
strip.
I asked her to be in that, and I wanted. If you haven't seen
haven't
it,
seen it.
it's because
We're
I
in her comic strip now, too.
Really?
Yeah,
check it
no,
out
read
then.
her comic strip. It is awesome, and everyone out there, read her comic strip.
I
It
need
is
to
awesome.
check it out. I know.
Yeah. Like, even Colleen started reading it. She thinks it's very funny.
It is very funny.
Anyway, I would kill Bane as Sebastian because only Sebastian would probably be able to do it.
I think Bane versus Scar would be a fun fight.
Who?
Scar.
Scar.
That would be a fun fight, but it'd be
It'd just be big dudes bashing on each other.
they didn't have
Actually-
making out.
Ocarine would be my favorite to fight Bane.
Oh God.
A lot of screaming and
A
running.
lot of screaming and running and crying, and we're like, oh, well, let's just do this over. Time jump.
Supervillain.
Daru's like, you're on your own, bro.
Lex Luthor as Shimizu. So there you go. I kill him with
on.
water.
Lightning
Right
question.
Shimizu from level E.
And after we do lightning, I want you guys to ask me random stupid questions.
Okay.
Really?
As fast as possible.
All right.
Because I've already seen these lightning round questions.
Have you guys ever had an unusual pet? If not, what would you like to have?
No, but I'm going to get a Vietnamese miniature potbelly pig at some point when I have the space. Because when I was a
such an
kid,
actor.
I saw... No, when I was a kid... And I think it comes from, well, pigs were always my animal.
You found out you were adopted, and now you have to get a pig.
Each one of us in my family was... My mom designated us animals or something, or those were the animal. Like my sister only got like little bunny things, or everything was bunny related. My brother was bears and frogs and stuff like that. I don't know what the fuck one he picked, but mine was pigs, and I always got little stuffed pigs when I was a kid. So I always wanted a pig, and then I saw Pee-wee's Big Top Adventure, and little Vince, hi, Pee-wee. And I had a little Vince that talked, and I always said one day I'm going to own a pig, and then it became popular, and I was like, well, and everybody goes, well, George Clooney had one, that's why you want it. No, I've wanted one since I was a little baby. And I'm going to get me a
check the
minute.
tape.
And they're supposed to be awesome, and they're supposed to go in litter boxes and stuff like
friends
that.
have
They're
had
very
them.
smart. They're also
If
very...
you can get, but everybody goes, oh, look out, because you're not really going to get a real one. They're going to get huge. They're not necessarily. You get the little mutant inbred ones that aren't as smart, but they're cute. T. Dudley.
T. Dudley. Weirdest pet, most unusual pet I've ever had. I would collect worms and leave them in my room. My mom was not happy. Worms. There you go.
Tatum.
I would love to have an octopus at some point. I would love to have
I had an octopus. That was where I was going to be. Yeah, I had an octopus very briefly. A little miniature.
Everybody
Not a
knows that I
miniature.
love
It's like
a
a
cephalopod.
small version of the mimic.
Delicious.
Yeah, this one, it was an asshole.
never
I was
a fan.
watching, it wasn't mine, I was watching it for a friend, and it got out. And getting it back in was a crazy fucking thing, because those little bastards, if they don't want
You
it in there,
told.
yeah. So I've told this story before.
I love that story about the octopus,
The octopus.
like at the in the aquarium that
That,
would
that got out and
sneak
like,
and
Took a
eat
pencil.
things,
like
and then
go into
back over.
another
Yeah.
aquarium and like eat all the clownfish, and then like, yeah. All right.
All right, next one.
From last episode, you all told your stories of badassery. Now you have. Now, do you have any stories of epic failedom?
Epic failedom. Okay, describe epic failedom. What you think epic failedom is.
I don't know. Something that would make people laugh if it was on YouTube.
That's a lot of stuff.
In general, I believe that you shouldn't view anything as a fail. It's a winning opportunity to learn something.
I dislocated
healthy.
my shoulder on a piece of equipment at the gym once.
Okay, that's a fail.
But yeah, I did. I mean, this is a long time ago, but I did. I totally dislocated my shoulder on a piece of gym equipment. that I wasn't using correctly. Huh?
It's because you have to learn how. Like if you're gonna work out,
it was early days for me, but yeah, that was pretty epic fail, and it wasn't
if we're
even
gonna go that level. Like
that
I've
much.
passed out like 8 some odd times in my strength training Marshall thing. Not
Epic.
fully passed out, but I've had to be like, I gotta lay down. It's because I had never worked out because I was a little freaking hyper kid on Mountain Dew for my entirety of my life, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go try to work out.
I've gotten hurt on several occasions. I've fallen and tripped during an awards ceremony with family and friends senior year. I've been hit by a car. I've fallen off a bus. I've fallen
off a bus?
off a bus.
That's awesome.
I feel we should break it a banjo. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
I'm falling off a bus and down. Ding, ding, ding.
I ran off a bus.
Running
Off
off
a
the trails.
bus. I've tripped over nothing.
There's always something.
Yeah, that
There's
happens.
always something.
No, my leg just went.
There's
no.
always something.
Are you one of those people who trips and then like turns around and like looks for like what was that?
No, and I trip if I fall. I stay down because it keeps people from laughing at you. If you just stay down, like they'll start laughing. But if you're just down for like 5 seconds or longer, they'll stop laughing and come over to help you. And then you just kind of play it off. Like, you okay? I don't know.
People who like
Do it all the
fall
time.
and like sprint up afterwards as if nothing happened.
Everyone's like,
that's like,
you can laugh 'cause you're
I'm
okay.
not buying it.
But if
Yeah.
you just go down and
See,
boom,
no,
nothing.
I get up, own it. You just own it. Like, I was out with Ryan, Alexis, and Tia, and we were at Genghis Grill, which is not my favorite place, but Tia had never been there, so of course it was fun just to have it explained to her. She's like, so I just go up here. Which is so adorable. But I went to
pumpkin.
the bathroom, came back, and they have a ramp through the bathroom, so I tripped, and this guy is the only one that saw it, and I went, I totally saved it, though, didn't I? And he went, you did.
Right.
You did.
I get
Just
knocked
own
down,
it.
but I get up again. You're never gonna
Sometimes.
You're
keep
never
me
going to
down.
keep him down.
Yeah, I was going there. Thank you.
Well,
Lucha
okay,
Bomba.
there are a couple more, but you wanted us to ask you some questions?
Bring it.
Ian,
The more pointless, the better.
yes or no?
Okay.
Pixies.
Yes.
Okay.
Tatum.
Okay.
Like the band or
Doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
Real Pixies?
Either way,
I like that.
they're wrong.
What's the weirdest thing that's ever photobombed you?
You.
Me?
I try not. I'm not someone who likes like pictures taken, so I don't have that many pictures. Until I started doing cons, there were just not pictures of me.
Because mine was someone in a Zoidberg costume, which was pretty epic. But and he didn't mean to photobomb us. It was just in the background. But it's like, yeah, okay, well, all right. Random question, Terry, go.
That's a good one though.
How come every time you come around, some London bridge want to go down?
It actually goes back to my great-great-grandfather. He was one of the Masons that was originally on Next Question. This is an interview show, Sarah.
Your least favorite tooth, and why?
I like that question.
Random as fuck, huh?
It's
Thank
about 4 from the back on the bottom on the right side. No. It's top near my molars on the left side. It's the one that died. Like I lost a tooth. There was a cavity and I lost it. I was at a convention and it died. And I was like in I was like in like I want to throw up crazy pain for a couple days. And that cavity is from all the sugary drinks when I was a kid. The weirdest thing is I didn't like get cavities or anything until didn't show up until I quit drinking the Mountain Dew, and then it was just like, and by the way, Mountain Dew, if you're listening for God knows what reason, I love you so hard. Code Red is one of the most delicious things in the world. But and in fact, I've actually made a barbecue sauce with Code Red from Mountain Dew, and it's delicious.
Ian.
A little bit of a cherry. Some people use Dr. Pepper, and that's where I got the idea from. I used Dr. Pepper in a. That looks
I'm
sounds
hungry.
pretty good, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yes,
Little
it
Dr. Pepper
does.
barbecue sauce.
It
Next
really
question.
does.
Next question. Okay. Do you like big butts? You cannot lie.
Oh, hell yes.
Okay. You
Sorry,
like
women without curves are like jeans without pockets. You don't know where to put your hands.
I love that.
That's good. That's good. All right. If you were your favorite dish, what kind of eating implement would you insist the person imbibing you use?
Oh, I'd like it to be the hands in general, but my favorite, if I were
Going
my
old
favorite
school.
dish, my favorite dish are noodles.
That's interesting.
And yeah, you know what? Still, I would
You want
like
somebody to eat
to
noodles
be
with hands?
such good noodles that people just go to town with their hands.
All right. Good answer. Your turn.
Cotton or poly blend?
Cotton, it's the fabric of our lives.
The touch, the feel.
God, these are hard now because I'm trying to like do the
I like
incredibly
the most
weird
pointless.
ones, and you're so quick. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna steal one from the lightning round. People.
Sure.
I'm done
Please.
being random.
Okay.
Picking one. Julia asks, "Who would
Julia.
win in a thumb war, Terry or Ian?" Ian
that's
can
stupid.
take on the winner.
No. No.
Really? Do you think you should? Come on.
We have to get off mic, though.
Yeah, we have to get off
Well, I mean, we've done this before.
Yeah.
Do we want any
you
other
win-
questions before we break this down, or are we
Okay.
about at time?
I think.
Ian.
I think.
No, I have an
it's-
Ian, Ian question. One more.
Please.
One more before you thumb more.
When did we meet? It's a girl question.
Jesus
years
Christ!
ago.
It's a
You gonna
trap.
be
It's a
wrong.
trap. Ian. It's a trap.
We met in Walla.
For what show?
Oh, let me tell you a little thing about Ian Sinclair.
I
He
know
has
it. That's why I'm
crap
asking
for
you.
memory.
He
doesn't-
still had
he
glasses
doesn't
on.
he
He still
doesn't
wore
remember what color
glasses.
yeah, that was
shoes
back
are.
before I got my eyes laser beamed. I like to think
It
of it
was
that
also
way.
the one where I met the actor that we find so delicious.
Ghost Hunt.
No, not
no.
Nope.
No, it wasn't one.
It was. We're already in the new building. We were already in the
Oh
new
my God! He clearly doesn't know.
Heroic Age.
Oh,
Yay!
heroic age.
Yes.
Heroic age.
Okay,
We
get
talked
up and
about
thumb
inappropriate
war.
work things.
Get this over with.
Okay.
Thumb war. All right.
Okay.
You're doing this off mic.
doing the little chant too?
Okay, you know how this is right. You have to grip your thumbs, and you do the 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have a thumb war, and then you start. Or you know what?
No, we have to
Do it your
establish
way
this thing.
then.
It's kind of like when you do.
I'm refereeing this shit. You say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have a thumb war.
Thank you.
Okay.
I hate it
Welcome.
when people go into like paper, rock, scissors, and you don't know when to go, and then you feel like an asshole because like I go 1, 2, 3, and then shoot. But some other people.
I think
go
you're
1, 2,
stalling.
Shoot. I am.
All right, are you ready? You ready? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. You ready? How you feeling? How you feeling? Confident about this? What do you think?
I'm feeling good.
All right.
Come on, Ian. You've been working out.
Soft hands.
You've been working out. All right.
Yes, because I've been working out my thumbs. You're completely right, Tatum. That's
Yeah.
it's like punches, kicks, and fucking thumb stuff.
There are
All
thumb
right, all right.
exercises you can do. I'll show you. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare thumb war. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want thumb war.
Oh wow, that was.
So to answer your question,
that was crazy.
It's like the first time in history we haven't like cut like mid show, but yeah, Ian,
That was crazy easy. That was wow. Okay,
No,
well,
it's-
I
Hey,
kind
you
of
know
wish.
what? I'm not crazy easy. I'm retired. All right, good job, Dick. All right, well that means that you got it.
That's so funny.
You gotta
oh,
do it now.
oh shit. Oh.
Yep.
Do you want to do this? No, you don't want to do this, Ian.
well, there's.
You don't want to thumb wrestle me.
Oh.
You don't. I don't
Okay.
know. It's not good. We should-
Big beefy man.
Final countdown.
J. Michael Tatum. I can lift large things and have big arms.
Oh, my thumb was like this.
No, it's for your own protection. It's for your own protection, sweetheart.
Guys,
you
just do it.
it's
Quit
just-
being
I
a
don't
vagina.
All right, which hand do you want to use? Which hand? You lefty or righty? What did you just use?
We use the right, but I can. I'm not gonna. Which one are you? Right-handed? or left-handed?
I'll go with
Are you
whatever.
right-handed or
I'm
left-handed?
ambidextrous.
Now
so
who's
whatever you want to
stalling? Come on.
All right, I'll go with my right hand.
do. All right, let's do this. All right, Terry. All right. Let me.
You can stretch.
You sure you know what you're doing, Ian?
You're taking off your glasses? Really?
Yeah. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's have a
Let's have
start over.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's have a thumb war.
Okay, are we just gonna stand and
wow.
stand still?
Oh
god. Dude, what the fuck?
Steven, come here.
Steven,
Steven, you need to look at this, please.
Steven.
You're fucking with me. Tell me you're double jointed.
Does it look like I'm fucking?
Yes, it does now. I'm sorry. No. Steven.
Look at.
What the fuck did you do? The bone is sticking out.
Dude,
well, kind of. I know.
That's not.
Yeah.
That can't be your bone. That's
We
not
gotta
his
call
bone.
it. We gotta call
Fuck
it.
this. No, other hand.
Dude, are you
Fuck
fucking
this,
You're
other
bleeding
hand.
on our carpet.
Fuck this, other hand.
Dude, are you
to the hospital?
Hand now, or I'm fucking leaving.
Steven.
Okay, fuck you.
Okay.
Call 911.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.